All right, let's kick this shit.
You hit it off with the bumper, now straight.
Greg, a lot of people come to Straight Down the Middle, besides the humor and the wit and the intelligence and just the knowledge.
Yes.
Just the, you know, some people like a 40-year-old
Perspective.
nerdy white dudes. You know, there's not enough of us out
We
there.
fit that criteria pretty well.
There's not enough of us out there. They also come for this or that, and they come, the numbers show that they really come for top 10 lists.
Yes.
People love them top 10
do
lists.
like top 10.
They love them. And I thought, what better than to help educate the entire industry on intellectual properties that are so steaming hot that just have not been made yet for pinball.
Great.
So for your viewing pleasure, Straight Down the Middle presents to you the top 10 hottest pinball themes that have yet to be made.
Now, I will have to say that this was a little tough.
We argued.
Quite a bit.
We weren't drunk, so we didn't fight.
No.
But got our clothes on.
The thing that became hard with this is when you take something that has such...
Nothing came hard with our fights.
no.
Let the record show. It was all flaccid. It was soft.
When it
hard.
comes to IPs,
Yes.
and you have to try to separate, well, this is a gigantic intellectual property.
Okay.
Worldwide, or just even within the state, like the popularity is so massive.
Okay.
But then you have to separate, and you have to say, you have to take a step back a little bit, and do you...
Would it sell for
Would
pinball?
it sell for pinball?
Can you integrate it into pinball?
Yes. What is the demographic for that?
So
How
there's
do
a
you do
balance
that?
there.
Yes. So to find that balance is very hard because some things are huge that you can undeniably say is just a massive IP. That like what you cannot not pick that. But then when you start thinking about who your buyers are or who's going to play that, now you might have to wrangle that in.
Or whether it can be integrated as a pinball machine.
Yes, whether it even makes sense. So that was what was so hard about this. So we're not saying that we got this 100% right because
We're not? I am.
Oh man, I think it's so open to interpretation
Yeah. Okay.
for the consumer or potential
I'd
consumer.
say manufacturers of pinball machines, get out your notepad, your steno pad, and take some notes here.
A lot of these, like we had to refrain from putting our personal
And we'll talk about that
top
too.
10 in there quite a bit. That was tough.
And again, as a reminder, this is the IPs who haven't been made yet.
Yes.
Star Wars doesn't qualify.
No.
Indiana Jones doesn't qualify.
made.
They all should.
Yes, because Indiana Jones would be on there for
Been
me.
made
But
yet.
no,
Jurassic Park.
been made.
It's already been made.
Yeah.
So we'll go through these, and we do sometimes some consultation with manufacturers, and they run some themes by us to see kind of, what do you think?
What would you do?
Well,
Yeah.
and we're pretty honest with them. But recently been telling people, at the time of where pinball is right now, you gotta nail the IP, because that's the thing. If you don't get the IP right, you can have a successful game. Look at Elton John. Sorry, I'm speaking truth here.
Yeah.
Elton John is not a great theme.
No.
They had
Terrible.
to check every other box to make it
And luckily they
successful.
did.
They did.
They did.
But it's a lot more work. You're working
is a lot
uphill.
more work,
So,
yes.
but if you nail the IP, you can slip on a couple.
Well,
of
it's not
check
just a lot
marks.
more work; it's a lot more risk.
You can, you can slip on some of
Yes.
that stuff. So I've been telling manufacturers, here are 20 top IPs that are what I call no-brainers. They are no-brainers. You'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about that part.
Agreed.
I think you should go through, as a manufacturer, they should go through and make sure they can't get any of those before going to any other thing that's.
Agreed.
I think that should work.
Yes.
So here are some of them. We'll start with number 10.
Ooh.
The number 10 hottest pinball theme that has yet to be made is Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
What? Now these people are like either turn off, they're like, oh, I didn't see them going in this direction.
So this was maybe one of
This
our
is one that we were fighting over.
tougher ones because
It could be a top 3 IP right
very
now.
much, very much. But then again, so then that's where it balanced out. You take worldwide popularity versus like in this market.
Are pinball people going to buy?
Are pinball people going to buy?
Who are pinball people?
Exactly. Well,
Everybody loves pinball.
everybody. Well, we hope so. But so what we really started to think is, the demographic for Taylor Swift is mainly young females.
Speak to you.
There's a lot. I hate Taylor Swift. Oh, sorry, I'm not a Swiftie. I have my own reasons.
Okay, all right.
My own reasons.
You just don't like Travis
Get
Kelce.
so much blowback for that. I'm not a big Travis Kelce fan either. I
No,
get a
I'm
lot of
not
blowback
either.
for that.
I'm not either.
No.
I actually judge
No.
Swiftie a little bit more for dating him.
I actually kind of do too. I do too.
I thought, girl, you can do better.
I agree.
You can
1,000%
do better.
agree.
You can have anyone. and you picked
Travis Kelce.
You picked the frat boy.
I agree.
There's much more.
I held her a little
much
higher.
more guys that are sophisticated,
I actually
grounded.
Do not disagree. But when you're looking at that marketing, and that was kind of an argument of like,
Okay.
of whether we do that or not. But then we started talking. We're like, yeah, but I mean, how many pinball collectors, how many people, your mass pinball purchasers, families.
Yes.
You brought that up. You said families.
I said, how many? What's the percentage of people who buy a pinball machine that also have either a partner or children?
Yes.
And I think, I would guess, I don't know, I'd have to do the research. I'd say 80%.
Yeah.
80%. Okay, of those 80%, how many of those 80% would love to find a theme or at least try? They purchase pinball machines thinking that their child or their spouse would maybe fall in love with pinball because of it. Whether it happens or not, they still buy them.
And I put myself into those shoes because both of my daughters and my wife are huge Taylor Swift nuts. Like stupid crazy over it.
Yeah.
And I thought, if that game came out,
you would try it.
I would have to buy it.
You would
like I
try
would
it.
not.
Yeah.
I would have no option to buy it. Like I could not say no to them, and they would want it, and they would ask me why that I didn't buy it. So I would 1,000% have to buy that game. Whereas I wouldn't have been a purchaser. Just not a fan of hers.
Would you put it on location?
Yes.
You damn right you would. You damn right you
100%.
would.
Because I think that's
You
where
might
that
have two
pin.
of 'em.
I think that's where that pin excels. It's location.
I think it could go to locations that pinball machines typically wouldn't go.
Yes, and that would be it would be
good.
big.
Yeah.
So again, that's why that we're adding Taylor Swift. If you're kind of like, what are you thinking?
Yeah,
Or
that's
some of
why.
you might be thinking we're crazy
That
for not adding
low?
her.
That low?
Yeah, no.
something that
But
low?
again, we're doing that recently. Like
It's a balance.
Yes.
Number 9 on the top 10 hottest pinball machine themes that have not yet been made. Beetlejuice. Oh. Boom, 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 boom. Bum, bum, bum,
This one.
We gave you Swift, right?
Yeah.
Give us Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Right?
This one has to. So,
we could think of things that maybe make more sense for pinball, but give us one.
but Beetlejuice, when you talk about a world under
It's
glass that you can
perfect for
create,
pinball.
the humor.
Perfect.
We always want some humor in pinball. Humor.
Michael Keaton.
Oh.
We love Tim Burton as Mr.
Yes.
Fantasy.
You just look at every piece of everything that you can put in there. The underworld.
Even the colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it lends itself.
Plus, like Beetlejuice is so practical filmmaking,
Yes.
hands-on filmmaking, and what is gaming more so physical than pinball?
Yes.
Pinball is physical gaming.
So good.
And Tim Burton is physical filmmaking.
Yes. That's what I was glad to see about this second one when I watched the trailer. I was like,
It's all practical
kept
effects.
all old school.
Yes.
Amazing.
Number 9 is Beetlejuice. But fight us, because I think we're right.
Damn right.
Number 8 for the hottest theme that has not been made into a pinball machine yet, Pokemon.
This one?
Oh.
I don't like
get it.
either.
I don't get it.
I don't either. Not my cup of tea.
But it's big.
You have to take a look at what's around.
Is one
what
of the
people want.
largest IPs
Yes.
in the entire world.
Yes.
And but a lot of people say, well, the Eastern world doesn't buy pinball machines. Well, I can tell you what might help them.
Yeah.
A push in the right direction.
Yes. Well, and that's one thing that's great about that is here in the States, I think it's
huge stuff.
phenomenal. But it's like you said too. Now you're bridging overseas that you might get some people. There might be something.
People tell
that
me it'll
happens.
never work. It's just culture. It's just culturally, it will never sync up.
And that might not be wrong.
But it's still big enough for the Western land. It's still big enough.
Yes.
Pokemon is
It's
huge.
huge.
And
Agreed.
the reason why it's huge is because it's multifaceted. You've got merch, you've got
Yes.
television, you've got gaming,
Yes.
there's all different types
Cards,
of mobile gaming.
everything.
You've got
Yes.
collectability with the car,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
It's
It
huge.
spans such a large
age
age
demographic,
demographic is huge on that
Female,
thing.
male, it doesn't matter.
Because I feel like Pokemon took off right after our childhood era. So you take some
did,
people a little younger than us, maybe in their mid 30s. I still think that hits very hard with
Yeah.
them, and some people our age too.
Well, yeah,
obviously.
because we stayed nerds in our own nerdy categories.
Yes.
And other people stayed nerds and they jumped into a Pokemon category.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, even
right
our
at that age, yes, when we were sort of getting a little, but that's where they went. Yeah, we were just different.
We found boobs.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
We did find boobs. We stayed nerds.
Yeah.
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 Well, it is what it is. The number 7 top hottest pinball theme that has not yet been made. is it's got Tom Cruise. I don't know if he's running it, but he's flying. It's Top Gun.
Yes.
Top Gun is like, that's the pinball demographic right there.
Yes.
It's like this, the pinball demographic is generally middle-aged men that just want to be like masculine.
And I know that it's big because
Top Gun. You didn't want this in here.
Yeah, I kind of was like fluctuation, but when you take something that lends itself so well to pinball,
nostalgic, tough, masculine.
Yes, and just
Top
the
Gun.
music and the cut scenes and the sequences that you would have on there of when you're hitting shots, if they cut to a jet doing
speed.
Yes, almost like what Stern did with John Wick about the fight scene stuff.
Yes.
If you did something like that with fighter jets and you did just, I'm like, man, this is almost a no-brainer. Like,
well, they're going to dip in, manufacturers are going to dip into nostalgia, and they're going to dip into nostalgia that makes sense for pinball, which is action, physical, fast pace. So what action films back in the 80s, that's like that's your prime.
And
the action films in the 80s are the classic rock of pinball.
It is.
Like,
and that's the thing,
what
that
it
you're
is.
hitting that age demographic of pinball buyers.
Yes.
The majority of pinball buyers. You're hitting that age demographic.
It's easy.
Yes.
It's easy.
Agreed.
But when it's done so well that it becomes so classic, it becomes the number 6 on our list of top 10 themes that have not been made into a pinball machine yet. It's more contemporary. It's The Matrix. First off, it's Keanu Reeves.
I love Keanu Reeves.
It was almost genre changing.
Yes.
Sci-fi.
It was.
And it is a better film than Top Gun, I would argue. It's one of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah.
Plus it's action, plus it's sci-fi. Top Gun doesn't get that sci-fi.
No.
Pinball has a lot of us nerds in it, and we like sci-fi.
Matrix is another one of those things, though, that really lends itself to pinball. And
Yeah, because it's a technology.
Yes.
It's technology. So you get everything with Top Gun, even nostalgia at this point.
Yes.
Plus you bleed into technology and sci-fi.
Yes.
So that's why
Agreed.
it's bigger on the list.
Agreed.
Would you guys not love to see The Matrix as a pinball machine?
I'm not entirely...
It's supposed to be a pinball machine.
Yeah.
That's
It'd
perfect.
be so good.
Oh, we're into the top 5. Now, the top 5 themes that have just not been made into a pinball machine yet. Number 5 is The Goonies. My top 2 dream themes.
Listen.
The Goonies, it's there.
There can be some argument.
That's nostalgia and fantasy.
It is. And you did some research.
Yes.
Like, we looked at, like, that's one of the biggest IPs. Like, even if it's something that doesn't cross your mind.
It still is up there in top 5s of, like, fantasy film, blockbuster films.
Yes.
Because it's got Steven Spielberg attached to it. It's got all of that stuff.
And you look at
George Lucas, I'm trying to think of it.
No, Richard Donner was.
Right, I know Richard Donner was.
But I don't think Lucas. I think Spielberg produced it and then Donner directed it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. The cast is phenomenal. The characters are all phenomenal.
Yeah.
In it.
People love Stand By Me, but this is Stand By Me with like action adventure.
Yes.
Fantasy.
And it's another one of those things that just lends itself so spectacularly to
World Under Glass.
A World Under Glass.
Yeah.
And again, the humor, the wittiness, everything else, all your call outs that you're going to pull from that is just going to just.
And these actors grew up to be big old actors too.
Yes.
I think you still get Sean Astin though.
Oh, Sean Astin, 100%. Dude, he's one of the nicest guys. I've met him a couple times. He's one of the nicest guys ever. Like, truly cares about people that he worked with. And, like, he was so nice about Corey Feldman. Like, he truly is somebody that promotes other people. Like, he is not an asshole at all. Like, he's seriously one of the sweetest
You got Brolin? Josh
people.
Brolin in there?
Oh, I love Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin's an underrated actor nowadays, I think.
Usually at least once a year, he recommends something Josh Brolin related. Always calling me on the phone.
Good,
oh, you seen that new Josh Brolin
so
film?
good.
You seen that new series, Josh Brolin?
So good.
Yeah, check it out.
But yeah, no, I still think I think Goonies, like, even trying to separate myself because that's one of our dream things. It's still, I think it'd be massive.
Ah, it's so good. Number 4 for top 10 themes that have not been made into a pinball machine yet. Number 4, you snickered at me and you said, "Oh, come on, you put that in there." I said, "You damn right I can." It's Toy Story. It's Toy Story. It has not. Look, Greg, it has not been made into a pinball machine yet. It has not. They chose to make Toy Story 4. And granted, one of my favorite games. I love that game. It's not Toy Story. It's not Toy Story. I'll take Toy Story 2 as well. Give me a 1 and a 2.
I'm still going to argue that you don't have to. I still think that it technically has been made.
No.
But I had to give him this, and if we're going on his...
the hottest IP.
The way this is, he's not wrong. if we can consider this not made,
It's so different.
then I agree with you.
Yeah. If a manufacturer,
Multi-generational movie.
I've told a couple manufacturers in conversation,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to go out there and do Toy Story.
Yeah.
People want this game to be made as a pinball machine. They just do. And I don't.
They want Pizza Planet. They want the
Yes.
Martians. Like,
We want Sid.
I've
all of
been
it.
watching. So I belong to a lot of nerd groups all across the internet, all over the place. And I, for one, because I kind of grew up with Toy Story, but that's a little bit of generation slightly before me. No, I'm not saying
Then
like
I'm
the
aged
first
out of
one.
it because it's.
No, it's still great. What I'm saying though is like of it hitting home, like Jurassic Park in our childhood,
Okay.
or Star Wars if you grew up in the '70s
Sure, yeah.
and stuff. Not saying it didn't resonate with us and still wasn't huge,
Yeah.
but I underestimated how big Pizza Planet was.
Oh,
Like how big of a staple it was. Like people look at that as an iconic image, and I just never thought about that. And I started to learn about how many people will talk about Pizza Planet and do this and make reference to it and wear shirts and do things. So I was like, wow, that in itself is so nostalgic that they pull from it.
It was a new genre bursting into
Oh,
animation,
yes.
and it pulled all the nostalgia with it of the toys of the yesteryears
Yes.
that we all knew, the Etch-a-Sketches
Yes.
of the world, the Army Men,
And just such
everything.
well-developed characters.
Oh my! And the storytelling. That was when
Yes.
Pixar was telling stories that were better than real life films.
I watched Toy Story 3 the other night and watching like when the toys had to be given away.
Oh my God!
And
Come
I was
on.
like, I died.
With
I was like,
Bonnie
and watching him not want to give away Woody.
Oh.
I was like, oh.
Or whenever
stop.
they're holding each other, going in the
Oh,
incinerator,
yeah,
I'm like just rolling. Oh, it's Toy Story. We're in the top 3 now. The number 3 hottest intellectual property that just has not been made into a pinball machine. These top 3, all of them could be argued as number 1s, but number 3 is Nintendo's Super Mario. Oh man, that's day 1 purchase.
Yes.
Day 1. No
Again,
questions.
huge.
No questions.
Huge.
Location at home. It's everything. Super
Yes.
Mario is everything when it comes to video games. There's no other video game that I would like to see more than that.
And
sure, there's Zelda. Sure, there's Sonic.
Yes.
Those are huge.
And do you know
It's not Mario.
One of the things that I see that the people will talk about when routing games and on location games, one of the number 1 games that is one of the top earners, Mario.
Really? Yeah.
Gottlieb.
Yeah, Gottlieb's shitty ass Mario game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you did a Super Mario Land and did like, I know that would be.
I know the IP is impossible. I get it, and I know Nintendo says they want to do their. If there's gonna be a pinball machine, then Nintendo wants to be a manufacturer of pinball machines and make it. I get that, but I wonder now that they're working with like Illumination and DreamWorks to make the films, maybe there's a little wiggle room. Would you take a film-based Mario? I do love that film, but it's not.
No, I
Mario.
kind of want it all original.
I want Mario.
I want it to be video game based.
Yeah.
I want it to have that.
Super
feel.
Mario 3 with the raccoon tail, or Super Mario, Super Nintendo with Yoshi. That's the Mario that we've
Yes,
loved.
agreed.
So that's a good one, isn't it? Does it get better than that? It does. Number 2, hottest pinball themes that haven't been made yet. Number 2 is Back to the Future. Oh, Marty!
Huge.
Oh, that's my dream theme. That
Yes.
and Goonies, that's everything to me.
I think you do very well. It's again, you're falling back on that nostalgia of the '80s.
Michael
the
J.
potential-
Fox, the fantasy, the sci-fi, still the wittiness, the action, the comedy.
It is.
And then it still pulls nostalgia to it, too.
And it's just a heartfelt movie too. Like it pulls at the
Oh,
heart. It's
yeah.
just a sweet movie.
Who doesn't love the fact
Yes.
they're going back to the future and making out with Greg Bones' mom?
Good luck.
I would love to see it be made as all 3. I love all 3. I know people hate number 3. That's fine.
I like number 3, but I
still
don't
like
think
it.
you mix number 3 in with the others.
No,
No, it's just a set. But like,
number 3 to me is like Toy
cohesiveness.
Story 3 to me.
I
I love
3.
it, but it's not 1 or 2.
Oh, I like 3.
It's not
No,
1 or 2.
no. I think you could do 1 and 2 together in a pin.
Yes.
but
Yeah.
not 3.
Just like Toy Story.
But I like 3.
Toy Story 1 and 2 together. Yeah. The rumors are that Back to the Future is going to be coming out.
Let's hope so. Fingers crossed.
Don't mess it up. Number 1.
No brainer.
What could be bigger?
No brainer.
The number 1 hottest
No brainer.
theme that has not been made into a pinball machine
brainer.
yet is Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Easily.
Oh.
Easily.
Get your wands out.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. And that hits European market. which is huge.
Yeah.
In pinball.
Yeah,
It hits a
absolutely
lot
it
of the
is.
overseas stuff. It hits
Aussies
everybody
love
here.
it. I think Aussies love it. Everybody loves
it.
Harry
And it
Potter.
hits such a broad age demographic.
You know how big Harry Potter is? So big that it doesn't matter what J.K. Rowling has said or done. People still get behind Harry Potter. They don't care.
Yeah, because they're just beloved characters. And here's what I always equate it to. When you take a multi-billion dollar business like Universal, and they take and they dedicate one gigantic section of one of their theme parks. Then they renovate part of their other theme park and do it. And now they're opening a third park
with a big
Harry Potter influence. That just shows that putting that research and that money behind it says we know what we're talking about. And I feel that's the same thing if we go back to Super Mario. That's the same thing that I feel with that. When you
look at what they're doing, Universal, making Nintendo Land.
When you take a business that does something like it, because I used to always hear in the world of real estate that if you saw a Starbucks, that you knew a Starbucks was going to be put in, you need to buy that land and you need to invest because Starbucks puts so much market research into where they place a store and where that they decide to locate one that they have done all the work for you, that they feel with utmost confidence that this area is going to be
I actually kind of tried to do that, but I tried to do it backwards where we looked into franchising a Starbucks actually and a Chick-fil-A.
Oh,
but you can't. Starbucks
capital that you have to have.
No, I think Starbucks was. Me and Nicole looked into it. You don't ever own it. Like you can be a general manager.
Yeah, but you can't. It's not a franchise.
Yeah, they don't franchise.
Yeah, like Chick-fil-A and everything else.
Man.
Yeah. But I feel the same way with some of these properties. Is when you take a company that takes that amount
Harry
of
Potter.
risk. Yes.
Harry Potter screams pinball. There's nothing more pinball than would be Harry Potter. No. Magic. Pinball is kind of magic. Where's the ball going? It's wild. It's magnetic.
Yes.
It's everything.
And do you know what's great about Harry Potter is such an extensive line of books. I think it lends itself to multiple pinball machines.
Sure.
I don't think that
I would grease that wheel.
I don't think that you should. Yes, I do not think you should cap yourself. If anybody ever gets this, do not cap yourself at one.
I hate to burst your bubble, Greg, but somebody does have it. If somebody's got it. Somebody's got Harry Potter. Look, somebody's got Harry Potter, somebody's got Back to the Future. Mario, I can't confirm, but there's been whispers. Toy Story, they've kind of got it in the past. So I think they could. I've heard that could have happened. Goonies, somebody's got it, Greg. The Matrix, somebody could have had it. I'm running down them here. But there was reasons. I don't know if anybody has it currently. Top Gun, I don't know if anybody's got that. Could be had, maybe. Pokemon, there's rumors that one's had. Beetlejuice, I think somebody's got that. And Taylor Swift, ain't nobody able to get that.
No. That might be more elusive for a while than Harry Potter.
Here's a rundown of the top 10 themes that have not been made into a pinball machine yet.
Number 10, Taylor Swift. Number 9, Beetlejuice. Number 8, Pokemon. Number 7, Top Gun. Number 6, The Matrix. Number 5, The Goonies.
Number 4, Toy Story. Number 3, Super Mario. Number 2, Back to the Future. And number 1, Harry Potter. Some of the notables here that we didn't forget about them, y'all. They're here, like The Legend of Zelda.
Yes.
We got it. Yes. Superman, that would do great.
I think Superman would.
Die Hard would be fantastic.
I would buy Die Hard.
Mickey Mouse.
Yes, we had to talk quite a bit about Mickey Mouse and the extensiveness of that. Might be difficult to make, but IP-wise, it's huge.
Rocky.
Nah,
you don't think I am right?
I love Rocky.
Rocky is where it's at.
I love Rocky, but I don't know if it'll translate.
2, 3,
I don't know if it'll translate.
Absolutely would translate. Breaking Bad would be another killer IP for pinball.
Could be.
These would sell so much. Fight Club would knock it out of the park.
Don't think it would.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I think 100%.
Manufacturers have thought about it. They're worried about the holiday related.
I understand.
And I think it's still stronger than regular Vacation.
Oh, really it's stronger than regular Vacation by
Christmas
far.
Vacation is one of the funniest comedies of all time.
It's amazing and such good assets.
We forgot a lot of music stuff, but I'll throw another one in there. Nirvana.
Yeah, Nirvana would be good.
We're starting to age into
I still think
90s.
Motley Crue is still one of the last like big band. I know they've gone downhill. And Vince Neil is what it is, but I still think from a popularity standpoint and fan base, it's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
It needs to be done.
Guaranteed, but
it's pretty big.
It's pretty big. Finding Nemo.
Oh, I actually think Finding Nemo lends itself amazingly to a world under glass.
Karate Kid.
I think Karate Kid does.
Oh my gosh.
I think it does. Very much so.
The Fifth Element.
Yes.
Aladdin.
I love
The Lion King. Come on, write them down, people. These are quintessentially, definitively the IPs that you should be getting. Monsters Inc., E.T.,
I actually kind of
Gremlins,
Yeah.
all
Oh,
of these,
Gremlins.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Lost Boys, Kill Bill, King Kong. I want that for
I
Elwin.
do want King
I want
Kong.
that one for Elwin.
I want King Kong.
So I want the Elwin
Yeah.
to have the King Kong
I
and
do.
the Godzilla.
I do wanna see that.
Despicable Me, Beverly Hills Cop, Lord of the Rings, You Can Do It Again, Reservoir Dogs, The Thing, you love The Thing,
I do.
Caddyshack, Dumb and Dumber,
Be amazing.
Step Brothers, The Hangover,
amazing.
and Groundhog Day.
Do you know what's great?
What?
Elwin does King Kong.
Oh my God.
He did Godzilla, and then he does a King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah,
It'd be fun.
that'd be cool.
You could milk it.
I want a King
can
Kong.
milk it.
I'm so much
I
more.
want a King Kong.
To me, King Kong is America, and Godzilla is China, and Japan, and Eastern,
Yep.
Western. Give me some.
I was a
King
bigger
Kong.
Godzilla fan growing up, but I just still want a Kong because he's so iconic.
I want like
It's so
Universal
cool.
Studios
Old.
theme park ride Kong.
Kong. Me
That's
too.
what I want.
Yeah, I want
Kong.
old school. I don't want to go black
like
and white old
claymation.
Kong. No, I don't want to go back to that. But I also don't want new.
I don't want the new.
No, I don't
stuff.
want any of the new Kong
I want,
either.
And that's where Godzilla for Stern's kind of right in the middle there.
Yes.
They
Yes.
use the old stuff,
Yes.
but they still and artistically it's more
Agreed.
newer
Great.
comics.
That's what we need.
All right, this is Straight Down the Middle. Follow, like, and subscribe to Straight Down the Middle. And if you're wanting to buy a pinball machine, or if you're interested in one of these rumored ones, we take a rumored list at Flippin' Out Pinball.
Yeah.
Just email me at zach@flippinoutpinball.com. And then if you buy a pinball machine, you have any issues with it, it's Greg at flippinoutpinball.com. He will help you out with all of your switch adjustment needs.
All your reseating of connectors.
That's right. Unplug it and plug it back in, see if that works.
Pound the playfield.
A what?
Pound the
Oh
playfield.
my God.
You hit it off with the bumper, now you're straight down the middle again. You had a fling with a slingshot, you're rolling out the alley again. I tried to cradle
Trey,
Number 5, Toy Story.
no, Trey, you.
Number 5, The Goonies.
baby, baby, baby.
Is that your pussy?
Yeah.
Okay. The